Whoa, 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 whoa. We're live. Hello, everyone. Oh my God, look at people. George, if you want to see the comments, you can use another device of yours and log into this so that you can see the comments. If you don't want, just let it flow. And then after that, you can see the people. But we're only airing on YouTube. What I realize is that when I try to share it to multiple platforms, the audio is not very good and the network seems to shift. And sometimes I lose audience, I lose people, I lose the clarity of the video. So that's why I'm doing one platform at a time so that we can share that later. Hello, everyone. Kartiavelino in the house. Welcome, everyone. Today I have a media personnel mogul all the way from Toronto, Canada. If you live here and you don't know George Chukwu, you are not yet in Canada. George Chukwu is one of the biggest media personnel that we have here who he has also interviewed Lady Diana in the 80s and 90s. He has also he has also I know he has also interviewed the Prime Minister of Canada, Immigration Minister in Canada, all the way Dan Cote, Ifanyoba, Obasanjo, name it, all those personnel in Nigeria, running it down to Nollywood personnel, to P Square, Banky, Adesuwa, Rita Dominic. I can stay here and name and call people, and we wouldn't get into the show. Currently or presently, before the lockdown, George Chukwu is one of the biggest media personnel that works with Afro Global Television here in Canada, the biggest Afro-Caribbean television in Canada. You cannot talk about hosting red carpet without George Chukwu. George, you are welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so very much, Katia Valino. It is a pleasure to be with you on this show. And I just do a special shout out to all your fans that are logged in here today. And a lot of people don't know me with George Chukwu. They know me with AKA George Bluetooth. So they call me BTG. That's Bluetooth George. So, and I just want to welcome everyone today. I believe that you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful show here. We have some interesting subjects that we will be discussing, which will touch your heart and transform your lives. So you stay tuned with Katia Valino.
No, George, you are the host of this show today. You know, no, nobody can take your sport. You are the father of shows, red carpet interviews. You know, sitting here like I'm sweating. How do I have George Chukwu to talk to George? This is why I say this is not an interview, guys. This is chit chat.
Chit chat, yes. Exactly.
And George, I know that you are also an ambassador of Christ. Let me put it that way, ambassador of Christ. You seem to know Bible from head to toe. What really led to today's conversation is the video that I forwarded to you on WhatsApp, where this guy that claims to be a pastor said that any woman that rides on top of a woman is going to hell. So we are going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about older men and younger women. So first of all, let's go ahead, because you have watched that video. Before I share the clip with the audience, some of you must have seen the video. It's not a new video, but we just want to touch that subject where that man that claimed to be a pastor said that any woman that rides on top of a man is gonna go to hell. George, how do you look at that before I share the clip?
Well, there are so many what I would consider to what the Bible called that in the last days you will see a lot of false preachers, false teachers, and false apostles, false prophets. Um, I don't call anybody false except the Bible tells us that you will know them by their fruits. There are so many, what I will quote unquote pastors who are really pastors, but because of wrong doctrine and wrong belief system and wrongly dividing the word of truth, they will bring their own culture, their own personal belief into what the Bible is talking about. Understanding the Bible is a matter of being led by the Spirit of the living God. So when I will now bring my own personal culture or tradition, I want to infiltrate it to the Bible because this is what my pastor taught me. Therefore, I did not go to the Bible to check the Bible to say whether it's true or not. I'm afraid to come back with my pastor. Then that becomes an erroneous doctrine. So when you talk about what a woman and a man ought to be in the marriage setting, the way they ought to conduct their lives, he is absolutely wrong. I know he might be sincere, but he is driven by his own lusts. I am telling you, most of the people that you see that are propagating these things in their closets, they are having some personal, emotional issues that they are dealing with. So you don't bring your own little, misconceptions and want to make it a doctrine in the Bible. He's wrong, and he's absolutely biblically, equivocally wrong. So before we get started, I'm against that kind of doctrine.
Okay, for audience who doesn't understand what we're talking about, I will go ahead and play the clip for you. It's 2 clips. It's 1 minute clip. It's bigger, longer clip, but it doesn't want my time to stay here to play more than 2 minutes of this clip. So I figured out I should nip that and share with you guys exactly where George is talking from. Take a listen to this video. Let me find it here and share that with you guys. Okay, this is the first one.
Couples who practice a woman coming on top of a man in relationship when they are on their matrimonial bed, that they are not going to make it to heaven. That a woman, I want to repeat this because this is the warning the Lord gave me to tell everybody so that you hear it. As I told you, I have not been able to say this for months. Until today, the Lord said I should say it. You see, when you are with your wife, the Lord has made man to be the head, not the woman. So those men who enjoy their wife coming on top of them in their matrimonial bed, the Lord said they are not coming to heaven at all. Because they practice immorality on their bed. They change the ordinances of God on their bed. As a result of that, they are not coming to heaven at all.
Okay. One more clip.
Number 2, the Lord told me about those who practice like a dog on their matrimonial bed. Now, let me tell you this. Some people have devised a lot of evil things according to what the Bible says in the book of Romans. Romans chapter 1 verse 30. The Bible says, backbiters, haters of God, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. Those who invent evil things, evil sexual practices, the Lord said they are not coming to heaven. The Lord did not create you to behave like a dog on your matrimonial bed with your wife, or like a goat, or like a cow, or like a chicken. Those who do that are not going to make it to heaven. You see, that's what the Lord showed me. He said that department is a place where those who have practiced such immoral act are coming.
All right. Okay. We have to take a look at this whole thing right now. First and foremost, I can tell you without any shadow of doubt that the Lord did not talk to this man. That's number one. Why is it so? The Bible clearly tells us in the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, that marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. God never prescribed the way a man and a woman in matrimonial bed ought to have sex. This is man's invention. This is man's wisdom that gave them the way they feel more comfortable to have sexual intercourse. There is no way in the Bible where God says a man ought to be on top or a woman have to be on top or they have to be on the sides. God did not give man that in a prescription. So man now devised a way that is more comfortable to them. This young man, the Lord did not speak to him. I know that for sure. Because number one, when he begins to talk about coming to heaven, you don't go to heaven by what you do. You go to heaven by what Jesus Christ did. You go to heaven based on the covenant, the new covenant that you have. And that is very clear. I know a lot of people might be asking, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? No. Grace teaches you to deny ungodliness and worldly lust, that you may live a godly and righteous life here on earth. Number two, this man himself is suffering from what I call an internal dissolution, cultural dissolution, because that's where he's coming from. He's coming from the way his father, showed him that a man will have to be on top and the woman have to be on the bottom. There is no place. The bed is undefiled. That's what the Bible tells you. The bed, marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. The way that you two cooperate with one another. What if you have a fat man that is so huge that you can't even be able to, there's no way you can be able to lie on top of him or him coming on top of you because his stomach is so big. What do? You have to devise a way in order for you to be able to have sexual intercourse, which the Lord approves. He created sex to be good. And then he wants you and your husband to enjoy your sexual intercourse because sex, God created it to be good. Now, in the context of marriage, that's what we're discussing. That is absolutely. God does not get involved in your bed. It is between husband and wife. He leaves both of you to enjoy it the way you want. Now, the next thing they might be telling us now is, oh, wait a minute, because Igbo people or Yoruba people eat with their hands. And then all of a sudden, Igbo comes to eat fufu with fork and knife. And you tell them, if you eat with fork and knife, you're going to go to hell. No, it is not true. So that is one thing that I want to make sure that everybody understands. With you and your husband, you can devise the way that you can enjoy sex because not everybody is the same. If you want to really get down to it, maybe that's a subject we're going to discuss another time. Some women do not have what you call clitoral orgasm. They cannot come, through clitoral orgasm. Through sexual intercourse, some women do not come. Therefore, a man has to devise a way to please the wife. So if she doesn't have what you call, through regular penetration, then are you going to leave her to be without? Or let's say that the man's penis is so small, what are you going to do? Wouldn't you devise a means to, have your wife to have pleasure also after you have yours? So not all men are equal and not all women are equal. So God leaves the bed between two couples to devise the way that they will enjoy each other, and that bed is undefiled. And two, what you do in your bed does not determine whether you go to heaven or not. What you do on your bed with your wife cannot determine whether the Lord will accept you. If you accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, you are saved. And that's what determines. What Jesus did on the cross determines if you accept it, the payment that was done, that is what determines whether you come to be with him in heaven or not.
Okay. George, you hit the nail on the head because most of the time I say that if you are opportuned to come to social media, you are a millennial person. But there are people that are young and live in the rural area and they're being brainwashed by those kind of people that cannot come to, those people in the rural area cannot come to social media to know what is going on. They believe, they breathe, they eat, they embrace everything their pastor or their man of God tell them. And you know what? I am glad that this video is going viral. Some people said that this video has been out there since last year. But what really matters is to educate people out there. It doesn't matter when the video was released, what the man has said or what he's not saying. What matters is that people needs to know the honest truth, how life should be. Nobody's gonna come to my house and tell me how to give my husband a blowjob. That is not in the Bible. He's my husband. We do whatever we want to do. Whether I am on top or at the bottom or at the center, it's our business. It's our business. It's not pastor's business.
No, it's not. And there is absolutely nowhere in the Bible that tells you this is the way you do it. There's no prescription. God left it to man and woman to determine how they will cooperate with each other, to give each other that love. The Bible also tells us in the book of First Corinthians chapter 7 that your body does not belong to you. It belongs to your husband. And his body does not belong to him. It belongs to you, the wife. Therefore, deny not one another, except when both of you come to agreement and say, okay, maybe we're going into fasting. Therefore, let us just, not defile, bring that to us. Let's fast sexual intercourse for a moment because we're seeking the Lord. The Bible permits that, but it must be by agreement. So the wife is not supposed to refuse the husband sex according to the word of God. It is right there. The husband is not supposed to refuse the wife sex. It is there. He said it does not belong to you. It belongs to your partner. But also there must be a common level of understanding that will be profitable to both. If one is fasting and tells you, honey, I don't feel like it tonight, I'm seeking the Lord, there ought to be understanding and love and compassion towards that. But otherwise, both of you ought to come together. No, you see, what happens is they put this mostly on men as if men are the only one that enjoy sex. My dear, women enjoy sex as much as men. They need more than men sometimes. So a woman can come to the husband and say, baby, I want to, start enticing the wife. And then, they just go ahead and have their fun. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. You go to the book of wisdom, the book of Solomon, and then you see where the songs of Solomon, where it was talking about in chapter 4. If you read chapter 4 of the book of Solomon, it talks about how Solomon married a Shulamite woman, and the romance that they had before sexual intercourse, and they reached orgasm. A lot of people shy away from discussing these things as if it's not natural. Yes, we'll give it a sacred position in our lives, but it is something that we need to discuss so people will understand, have a balanced understanding and a balanced view of what it is. What happens a lot is we don't teach our children all these things. They go and learn it from their friends, and before you know it, maybe something happens, and then they begin to say, oh, wait a minute, that did not show me, not show me. So, but the fact of the matter is, sex between husband and wife is between them. And nobody, including God, does not put their head into it because He did not give you, this is the way you ought to do it. Some people will pound the food and make it liquefied and drink it instead of chewing it, maybe because of situations. So each couple must understand and know the way to please one another. And that is factual.
Thank you.
For all you that are watching, go and read the book of Songs of Solomon chapter 4 and see how Solomon described in detail the romance, the foreplay before they even had sexual intercourse and before they even reach orgasm. It is right there in the Bible.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, it is.
We have to revisit that part because I love it. You touch me now where my whole body is like almost jerking. Yeah, guys, before I forget, if this is your first time, please remember to hit that red button, subscribe. I will come to you guys' question. Before I come to you guys' question, we have the next thing that we want to talk about. George has cleared the air about this, intercourse, what you guys do in the bedroom is nobody's business. So, George, you are a man,
Mhm.
and you know what is happening around the world. Older men with smaller, younger chickens and stuff like that. This is
Okay.
kind of your expertise as well, because George of Toronto, George Bluetooth of Toronto doesn't hang out with you if you're ugly and
No, please, please don't let them hurt me, oh. I love everybody.
no, it's not that you don't love everybody, but I know you love them beautiful, young, and you understand what I mean. So, how do you think? How does older men match the energy of the younger women in the bedroom?
Well, you see, what it is this. To me, I consider I have a young heart. Maybe that's why, you know, younger people are drawn to me
Hmm.
because age to me is just a number. It is not how many years that you are or you've lived on this planet Earth, but how young do you feel in your heart? So and that is really one of the major things there. Now, from the very onset, we saw, we have examples in the Bible also. Abraham in the Bible, it was a man that we understood to be under grace. Okay, the type of grace that we are the type of grace we are enjoying in the present covenant, present after the death of Christ. Abraham was a type and a shadow of it. So now we saw when God made a promise to Abraham that he will have a child, and his child will be through his child, he will bless him. So Abraham waited for God for many years and it didn't happen. So now the wife Sarah, who was now at the age of about 69, I believe, or somewhere around about there, told Abraham at the age of 83, 84, take my young servant, Hagar, who was a virgin, a little girl that they brought from Egypt, possibly at the age of maybe 15, 16, or 17. So Abraham never argued with Sarah. Abraham said, okay, well, if you say that, no, this is what I ought to do, no problem. So Sarah gave Abraham her maid, Hagar, and Abraham went into her, and then that's where we get Ishmael. Ishmael was born, and Ishmael is the father of the Arabic world. That's why you see the Muslims today always fighting Christians. So that's where the beginning of it. Abraham was an older man, and Abraham married a young damsel, after the death of Sarah. Sarah died at the age of 126 in the Bible. When Sarah died, Abraham was 136. But Abraham also married Keturah. Keturah also was a young damsel. And Abraham was able to father 6 children with Keturah. So now we also see Solomon in his heydays. He married 700 wives and 300 concubines. And most of them that are married, they married them at tender ages. So it is only in our own dispensation, in our own time, where everything has become so sensitive, where our skin are so thin that everything, would offend this person or that person. Now, I know that we have what you call age limit. When a woman is of age, in those days, we consider a woman at the age of 13 ready to get married. And most of them do. Yes, in the old days. Most of our parents married between the ages of 13 and 16. Most of our parents married at the age of 16.
Mhm.
So that was then, but these days is a little different. So, but the fact of the matter is a woman matures faster than a man. If you get a 16-year-old young lady and you bring a 16-year-old young man and want to put them together, it ain't gonna work because their maturity level is quite different. So now, what I'm saying before we continue, Katia, it is quite natural for sometimes a man of experience to be attracted to a younger lady. It didn't start today. It's been a long, long thing that has been happening from the ages past. Go ahead.
Okay, I know it didn't start today. A lot of people know it didn't start today, but what we're saying here is the millennial time. How do old people, like what our parents experienced and what they went through is not what we're going through right now. How
Hmm.
does an older man match his energy in the bedroom with a younger woman? Because this in those days, the time of our mothers don't complain, they don't ask for sex, they don't ask for more. Now Oliver Twist want some more. A woman now, compared to the older days, will never think of approaching her husband when it comes to sex. But in this day and age is what I am asking. How do older last week the Alafin of Oyo married a 23-year-old girl as the 13th wife. When you look at the whole scenario, you will know that all those women, all of them, all those 13 wives, I think 10 of the wives, they are all under 30. How does he satisfy them? This is my own question. It's not about the Abraham days when things, okay, it's in the Bible, women don't ask, women don't question anything, they keep calm and they do as the husband commands because it's command. These days, no. How do a how does it work?
Okay, let me just say this for now. One of the major problems we have in North America because of the type of food that we eat. Most of the genetically modified food that we eat does not grow naturally. And therefore, the bodies of men, mostly in North America, are weakened. If you go to Nigeria, listen to this. When I go to Nigeria personally, 2 weeks after I go to Nigeria, I don't take any vitamins. I don't take anything that, like I get up in the morning, I drink coffee because the food that we eat goes through the normal cycle. The flesh, the body is created from water and the soil. And this, it will be sustained with natural food that takes the normal cycle of growth. Now, if you go to Nigeria, you will see that a lot of men that eat natural food, especially vegetables and what the Caribbeans call the ground produce, usually will not need what you call Viagra or Cialis or any other sexual enhancing, medication because their bodies function more with the type of food they eat. You come to North America, most of the vegetables we eat here grow overnight. Chicken we eat here grow overnight. Everything we eat is genetically modified. Therefore, the body does not get all the nutrients that it needs for you to satisfy a woman. But thankfully enough, there are some natural things that you can take which will help you to enhance your male, testosterone and make you strong and be able to satisfy your woman. There are some natural fruits, so many of them, snapshots, buranta, and there are so many of them. Gorontura, which they sell in Nigeria. So many of these things, when a man knows that, okay, well, I have a young damsel that I need to satisfy, they have to actually make themselves available for these young ladies because if you don't satisfy her, then she might be tempted outside to go and, dip outside of you. So now, to me, if you ask me, marrying a younger lady will, especially with a modern mindset, a man with a modern mindset, that the energy level that she has sexually might be higher than yours, but you got to equip yourself and make sure that you give it to her with experience, number one, which the younger generation does not have. you know Number two, you will become like an sweet aged wine that will give her the emotional, physical and psychological satisfaction that the younger ones might not be able to do. And that's why you see a lot of younger ones, they are more attracted to the older men because it's not just about a woman will give you her body and her soul at the same time. But a man can take you only physically and move on. That's why you see a lot of men, they will go and cheat outside and go home and still love their wives. But when a woman gives you her body, he gives you her soul. Therefore, an older man is able to satisfy you both physically, emotionally, psychologically, and then stabilize you so well so that your emotional quotient will be so beautifully well done that when you go home, that's the reason why you see a lot of women when they are with a an older man, you see some of them, they will come on Monday morning and their faces are bright and smiley, and everybody is like, "What is happening to you? What happened this weekend?" That is simply because you are with a man with a good experience, a man that have seen it all and know exactly how to harness. Because not all women are the same when it comes to satisfaction. It is the duty of a man to find what satisfies the woman and make sure that he centers is right there and satisfies her completely, even before himself gets satisfied.
Wow, wow, oh wow. I am learning a whole lot of things today. The area that I never even thought about, because really and truly we always, like, I scold older men who go for younger girls, say, asking myself, how do they meet up in the bedroom? But something that you said right now that I've never really talked about or thought about, and I know a lot of you guys has never thought about that as well. Eating the right food will make you pound endlessly. And most of these older men, when you really look at them, like all those, most of these older men that are financially okay, they're very fit. Most of them don't have protruding stomach. They're very fit. So what you said now is taking me back, like for example, Ned Nwoko that everybody is talking about. When you look at him physically, he looks intact, and then, like you say, most of them from the northern part of Nigeria, they are Muslims and they don't eat meat and they don't eat dairy products. Most of them eat fruits, vegetables, which, and that's why they marry many wives. This could be, I'm not saying that this is the reason. This could be the reason why they are able to get up to 6 wives, 4 to 6 wives, according to Muslim religions, and still take care of them in their bedroom. But the younger guys are the ones suffering because most of these older men that are financially stabilized are dragging the younger women with the younger men. The younger women, yeah, with the younger men. So the older guys are now taking control, taking possession of the younger adults there, of the younger women there. So it is something that I don't know. I
There is
really,
another aspect of it, Kartiavelino, and a woman, most women have to be taken care of. And they're, a woman of high maintenance, a young man who is struggling to make ends meet might not satisfy them financially. And some of these men have, designed a way whereby they become benevolent to these younger people, where if they want a beautiful Argentinian or Brazilian hair, just like what you have on, which might cost about $800, a young man who is trying to get his first car is not going to give you $1,000 to go and buy hair, and then next week you ask for, so for to get another, Hugo Boss bag or Louis Vuitton bag, so those things, these financially well-rounded up men now take care of the younger women, and so there is a symbiotic type of relationship in that area whereby the young lady now are trending and they're getting money from these older men, and then they give them their sexual satisfaction. So that's what it really is if you come down to it. Now we saying this because not all women are the same. There are so many good women out there. They're not noisemakers. So when we talk about stuff like this, somebody will say, "Oh, what are you saying? Are you trying to say that we are all?" No, you are not all that. As a matter of fact, most of the time it's the only a pack of small people that make a lot of noise, so that all of a sudden those little apples will spoil the rest. There are so many good women out there who are still very well cultured, who will not even accept gifts from you, if they don't have any type of feelings or want to have a lengthy relationship with you. So many of them are out there. So, weak guys that are looking for good women, you can still find some, comfortable, nice, well-cultured ladies that are out there. They don't make a lot of noise, but somebody once said, many good gifts do not come wrapped in silk. They come wrapped in brown paper sack. Only the hungry will tear the outside to see the treasure on the inside. So if you're a young man and still looking for a young lady to marry, there are so many out there, but you have to search for them.
George is how do I say that? Experienced in whatever he is sharing with you guys out here. Versed, like he's been there, done that. And so many women, like you just said, so many women want men, regardless of the age, they want men who have experience, who can share, like the way you're saying it right now. There are so many women who say, oh my God, where is Judge Bluetooth? I'm not saying that there is any sexual entanglement there, but I know that whenever things happen in Toronto, starting from the youngest supermodel in Canada, Nini Amalise, and all this, everybody, like all these girls in their 18s and 20s are all over your shoulders, taking pictures, doing so many things with you. So they have seen that you are experienced. They want to talk to you from a father angle, from uncle angle to give them some, and big brother angle to give them some advice and to give them leadway. Like if you're just joining right now, I started by saying that if you live in Canada and you don't know George Chuku, George Bluetooth, you are not in Canada. George is all rounded. And if you're coming in here, I encourage you to go because we have been in this for almost 40 minutes. I encourage you to rewind and learn from the fathers, the people who knows what time it is, the people who are experienced in the game, both in the game of Bible, in the game of fatherhood, in the game of husbandhood, in the game of dating, in the game of you name it all. George, what do you have to say about this trending video about Pete Edochie, who said that, because we have 1 hour for this, so I just have to, I will read you guys' comment, who said a couple of days ago that his own father was 40 years old when he married his mother at the age of 15. He also said that if women think that their husband is cheating, you feel your husband is cheating and your husband is going on a trip, pack a pack of condom in your husband's suitcase. It didn't sit right with me. The way I look at that is that his mother was abused at the age of 14 to 40 years. What I'm saying, if you are 15 or 14 and marry somebody that is 20, we can at least understand. But being 40 and getting married to a 14 years old and also advising women to pack condom in their husband's briefcase does not sit right with me. This is exactly how I feel about it. I don't know about other people.
Well, I share your views in that. I believe that you do not encourage infidelity in any type of relationship whatsoever. What was in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and what was in the 18th century, this is a modern time. The way we think is quite different. The way we operate is quite different. Our mentality, our belief system, our psyche, the way we see things is quite different from the way in the ways back. As a matter of fact, a young lady recently went to the great grandmother's house and saw a telephone that was hanging on the wall. And they were asking, he said, Grandma, what is this? Mama, what's this? And he said, oh, that's my telephone. And the little girl started laughing. No, it is not. He said, yes, it is. This is how we speak. Do you want me to call you? And the grandmother used that phone from the wall and dialed the young lady's cell phone. And she was so enamored over that. So you see, not because we want to change with, as things are changing, there are still some fundamental, foundational things that we need to maintain. Peter Edochie himself, in what he said, even his son did not agree with him because his son was born in a different generation and sees different things differently. So what I'm saying is that just because it was in a primitive way, when Peter Dossier, there was no civilization, there was nothing that was going on. A 40-year-old man will go and marry a 14-year-old young lady. That is despicable in this present time. It might be permitted in those days. It might be permitted in those days. The things that happened in Abraham's time, some of them, if it happens today, you're going to end up in jail. It's not allowed because we are civilized. We have a different kind of government. The way we think now is different. So I am not in support of such. A woman must reach the age of accountability, socially, educationally, before you start thinking about marriage. You can't just take a little baby that don't know their left from their right and want to put it inside their stomach. They don't even, a baby cannot even, how can a baby, mother a baby? It doesn't make sense. So one of the things we're going to tell Peter Edochie is, sir, please, with all due respect to you, I know you're very sincere, but you're sincerely wrong. You need to go and find out what is really happening these days. Okay? So you cannot be in Nigeria with your experiences in the village, and now because you are an actor, you're going to come to dictate to the present generation the way they ought to function. Please go back and talk to your sons and find out the way they are dealing before you start bringing those backward, village, primitive type of ideology to our modern society. It doesn't work. And that is the reason why, because I'm able to, acclimatize myself to the modern people the way they think. That's why they drawn to me. You see them around because I know what they are thinking. I know how they are thinking. And I can have a conversation, an intelligent conversation with a 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old. Intelligent conversation because you bring yourself to their level and you talk to them in that way. And I'm talking about these people. Some of them are like my goddaughters and all that kind of stuff. They look at you, oh, you're so cool. You're so cool because you want to be able to see the way they see things and talk to them in that way. And then with that, you can give them a proper, balanced advice on how to be able to deal with issues of life and give them wisdom to propagate the way they ought to act in their own generation. So that's what it is. So I'm sorry, Peter Edochie, please go back to, to the modern school and learn how we do this in this present age.
I would love to see you interview him because I know that that's your route. You're big in calling those kind of people and putting them to order. That is your field. So I am looking forward to the day you will call Papa Peter Edochie and say, sir, it doesn't work that way. This is the new generation. You don't come here and encourage the new ones to put condom in their husband's suitcase when they are traveling. Who does that?
Who does that?
Who does?
I mean, that is almost like, you signing a license for your husband when you go to Lagos from Onitsha, when you go to Port Harcourt from Aba, make sure that you find somebody to take care of you. It doesn't work. No, nobody should encourage the husband or the wife to cheat. It is unacceptable biblically, culturally, and otherwise. We should not do that. We don't do so.
I was so flabbergasted and so disgusted and so humiliated for him when I saw that. The first thing I said, oh, does his children know that their father is out on the social media giving this? Because his advice that he's giving advice to people. It's a very big shame. If I see him, if I have access, I will dare talk to him and say, you know what? And I'm sure a lot of people are blasting him on social media right now. So
even his son disagrees with him.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine how low can people really go? How low?
That's what it is. And that's what we have. But anyway, some of these older people, sometimes when they teach them, the way you trend is when you bring controversial issues and speak about it so that you can get a lot of responses. Some of them will just go ahead and do it anyway.
But for him, I don't think he'll be looking for controversial issues because he doesn't. Anyway, I don't know. I can't speak for him. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what he wants to do. I'm gonna pick up some people's questions and read it, and then we're gonna close. You guys, please, you can follow Judge Chuku on Instagram. The name you see over here is the name that is on Instagram, even though the judge is not big on Instagram. He's more of a television person. George is mostly in front of television. Follow him on Instagram. Drop your questions, your comments, and the world has bigger fish to fry than the couples. Okay, this one I'm not reading. Hi, Doctor of Love. Wow, who think that matters? Who think that matters? The topic. Okay. How are you? Okay, Catherine Samuel. Thank you. Lovely Chiroke. Thank you for coming in. Lovely. Hi, Kat. Okay, people are greeting one another here. I'm trying to see if there is questions. Real Igbo man with that surname. Grant Wood is hailing you. Hailing George Chuku. Yes, real Igbo man. Yes. Wow, Doctor of Life, you're beautiful as usual. Hair is on fire. Hey, hair is on fleek. Unmask. Great hair color. Wow, this hair is making lots of waves. Judge, we are tired of being inside the house for the pandemics. I am so ready to get out there.
We're gonna hit the street very soon.
Yes. Okay, let me see if there is any question. This your main is very big. This your main is very big trouble. Their problem is too much. Oh, our Nigerian men, their problem is too much. Lovely Cherokee saying, welcome to the house, George Chuku. Okay. Brentwood, ensure you read comments from time to time during the video. That's what I'm doing because I don't want to read comments in between because it throws us off the balance. So as we finish the conversation, that's exactly what I'm doing now. Grantwood, Helen, good evening, everyone. Thank you. Grantwood, I do believe some sexual acts are ungodly. Oh, Grantwood. Okay, my mom said this is old. Okay, the video, like I said, that it might be old, it might be new, but the message is there. It doesn't matter if it's today or yesterday. I'm seeing it for the first time. What we're trying to address here is the context of the message. Grant would say, I think this man is saying missionary only. Probably that's the only thing the man knows from the first clip that I shared. He only know about missionary style. Nice one, sir. Okay, Helen, somebody saying, George, somebody saying nice one. Definitely George Chuku. Yes, doesn't matter position in the marriage. Any position goes in the bedroom. Great concept. Thank you, sir. Unmasked, that's from Unmasked Lifestyle. Lovely Cherokee is saying, teach, George. George, teach us, so teach us everything. Teach us Bible. Teach us the moralities of these days. Okay, you are saying the truth, sir. God bless you. Sele Oyaku, that's from Sele. Lovely Cherokee says, Katia, Doctor of Life. Yes, you and your husband, no one else business. Yes. On Max Lifestyle, for sure, we need to visit Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, right?
That's right.
Sons of Solomon. We are Sons of Solomon. If you guys are just joining, Sons of Solomon talks about, George, take us back to Sons of Solomon.
Well, chapter 1 through 4 talks about the romance and how they were attracted to each other and how they chased one another, and then chapter 4 talks about, basically, how they were able to intimate with one another, the foreplay that took place until they actually engaged in sexual intercourse and reached orgasm. So basically, that's what Songs of Solomon is showing you. And then also you will see examples where Isaac in the Bible was cutting his wife outside when Abimelech, saw them, because Isaac had lied to Abimelech that Rebecca was Rebecca was his sister. So, but when they said them caught in the outside, which means they were romancing each other, of which a brother and sister cannot do. That's how Abimelech knew that that was his wife. So, those things are allowed, in marriages. So we need to cut our mates. The marriage is undefiled, the bed is undefiled, the marriage is honorable. And therefore, we ought not to encourage one another to go and cheat, by putting condom in the bag and say, when you go to Aba, when you go to Lagos, or when you go to Abuja, or when you go to America, find you a young damsel to satisfy your urge. No, you ought to be faithful, because especially these days, who you sleep with can determine the type of life that you might have. So many people have slept with women and get slapped in their dreams. So be careful who you make with, because there is some spiritual aspects of becoming one with somebody else. If you are in a marriage, you can bring something into your household that you really don't want.
It looks like a little bit of digression, but George, you will know that it is also said in the Bible, or but I don't know exactly how it is said, that let me not say in the Bible, like sometimes when the men, most men, their businesses are going down the drain is because of the sexual activities they are having after their matrimonial home. Is it true? It can affect. It can affect
Okay.
and impact.
Now the Bible tells you a man to deal with in the book of first book of Peter, chapter 3. It tells you to deal with your wife according to understanding. Don't be bitter towards her, because if you treat your wife wrong, your prayers can be hindered. Your prayers can be hindered. So when we're talking about the way we know that we're Christians is because of the way we love one another. And it begins, that love, charity begins at home. So your home ought to be a haven of peace, a haven of joy, a haven of pleasure. So when you become so bitter towards your wife and begin to maltreat your wife, it will affect your prayer, it will affect your business, it will affect everything about your wife. So it is to our own advantage that we treat our mates with honor and respect. Do you understand? And love them unconditionally. The Bible tells us in the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, for we to love our wife as the way that Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. And that's a sacrificial type of love. And the woman ought to give the husband utmost respect. Men do not need too much love, they need respect. Now, male and female hear this. The man needs the highest form of respect you can give him. The woman needs the highest kind of sacrificial love and protection and provision you can give her. And that's what makes the two come together.
I like that. I like that. Especially African men. You must give them respect, though.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, lovely Cherokee. Okay, hello Maggie's TV. Thank you so much for being in the house. Maggie TV is a YouTuber. Please, guys, subscribe and check her out. Hello, Mr. Rock. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nne is looking so hot. This my hotness. Hotness is going places. Thank you, Grantwood. My dad was 10 years older than my mom. I asked him, okay, so 10 years, we're talking about 40 years and 14 years. So it's very common. 10 years it's very common. It's still happening today. 10 years older. Okay. What did somebody say? They have AF body away from Oga, pure and simple. I don't understand what Grantwood is trying to say here. You are what you eat. Yes, lovely Cherokee, you are what you eat. Or has soup or nsala. Max Lifestyle, thank you and welcome to the house. So should we all head off to Nigeria? It may be that Africa is actually the land flowing with milk and honey. African leaders need to pay more attention. Okay, so we have good food in Nigeria. So I think that's what she's trying to say when George said that most older men in Nigeria or anywhere eat good, better food. Back home in Nigeria, we have more natural food than here. that most of the things are processed. Roasted cocoyam and fish. Add onions to ride like a horse. Oh, George, you're hearing that? If you want to ride like a horse, roast cocoyam with fresh pepper. Add onions, and then you ride like a horse. Yes, onions, natural onions or raw onions is natural aphrodisiac. Just in case you don't know, I made a couple of onion juice in my video years ago when I was starting my YouTube channel to share with you guys some natural aphrodisiac. It might smell so disgusting, but it's one of the highest and most natural aphrodisiac. Why do you think if you're from Nigeria, when they cut up suya, they give you extra fresh onions so that when you eat two of them with lots of pepper, it gets you ready for the mood? And why do you think that we eat suya at night? Does that occur to you? Extra spicy, extra spice with onions. It keeps you in the mood for the night. That's why we eat most of our suya at night. Okay. Sarah Morganhan. Yes, George said it. He said that not all women are so into money. He says that not because a very small percentage of women are chasing money and chasing older men does not mean that all women are the same. He clarified that. Grantwood, not true. Not all older women. Katia, Doctor of Life, do a video on food that affects performance. I have lots of videos on foods that affect performance that really. And then last month, I also did a video on some of the diseases that people have that affect their erection, like high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney problem, and the size when you are obese. I did a video on the things that really affect men's sexual erection. It is on this channel. This man is hot like Timaya. Mr. George, somebody saying that you are too hot like Timaya. Where are you? Are you still here? You are frozen.
Yeah, I'm trying to log back in. I think something happened to my phone. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm right here.
Shall I take you out and bring you back in again? I don't want to lose you.
Okay, can you do that, please?
Okay, I'm going to remove you and bring you back again. Yes, guys. Okay. Are you there, George? I know once you mess with this, I don't know what, this StreamYard, once you hit the wrong button, it takes you off completely, and it takes a little bit of time to reboot you right inside. So I'm going to go ahead and read you guys' comments while George comes back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. So somebody said that you are hot like Timaya. Timaya. Yes. So just in case,
my boy.
Just in case you don't know, George won an award in Canada. He has the most heterosexual men in Canada. Do you guys know what? Oh no, it's a metrosexual. Metrosexual, right? I get the right English, right?
Yeah, metrosexual is a man that dresses very well and keeps himself very clean.
So George won an award here in Canada. George won for the men, and then I won for the women, right? That's true. That takes us back to how many years back was it? 5
I think it was about 5 years ago. So
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years ago, yes.
Yeah, so George is a super metrosexual. You need to check him out. His socks and his handkerchief has to match. His belt and his wristwatch has to be on top. You know, when you ball with the Prime Minister of Canada and ball with Dan Cote and ball with what are their names? Obasanjo them and stuff like that. So you have to be on. Those people are not in the game of putting it together, but George is a media personnel, so he knows how to put it together. Hi, Augusta. I'm just seeing you. Oh, you came in late. Welcome. Yeah, Grantwood is saying hello. George, na correct Igbo guy. Hey, George, they are hailing you.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, Henry, thank you from Germany, and Grantwood is in UK. Just in case you guys don't know, Henry is from Germany. Good health is what matters a lot, and not by old age. Let's change the narratives. Even 60 and 70s keep ourselves healthy and do explore by fulfilling the human nature. So, somebody is agreeing with George. It's not about age, it's about how you take care of your body. I kind of agree to that. Nobody should disturb my Peter. Augusta Gold. Most mothers then was abused. Yes, our mothers, they marry so young by older men, they don't understand anything. People would cheat if they want to. Grantwood, oh, for sure. Oh, Chikeli, you're here. Oh, you love my hair. Thank you so much. Disgusting. What did somebody say? Melanated Gemini. That man should be arrested. Yes, the man that is 40 that married a 14 years old should be arrested. Oh, social mentor, welcome to the house. Purple looks good on me. I have to keep this hair. Oh, I have to buy many colors of purple. Everybody's loving it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nobody, what's to say? Nobody should drag Peter. Oh, Pete Edochie, I will not agree. Pete Edochie is a great actor. His son, Yo, is even greater. Nobody is disputing the fact that he's not a great actor. We know that he's a great actor. But when people go out of line, we have to put them back to line. That's exactly what we're talking about. Listen, you guys, who thinks they know everything about female? Thanks, George Chuku. Okay. George is nipping it. Funny enough, some women does that. Some women put condom in their husband's bag. They do. Hi, Vera. Thank you so much for tuning in. Vera Obieche, Continental Food Cake. Welcome to the house. Yes, he's a dresser. Our lovely Cherokee said they can tell you are a dresser. The week looks beautiful. Continental breakfast. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. So, if you have questions, drop it down below. If you're interested to be one of the guests in here, send your email at kartiavelino@gmail.com. We should have George here once in a while. If you have anything you want to ask George, leave your comments down below. Just even if when the show closes, leave it down below. We should make time to come back and answer you guys' question. George, do you have anything you want to throw in before we close?
I just want to say a special shout out and a special thank you to everyone that logged in today. Um, you know, most of the time, issues of life like this will always happen. People will always bring their own ideas. They will always bring their own convictions and stuff like that. Just simply because that somebody is sincere or fully persuaded over what they are saying does not make it right. So we are living in a modern age. This is 2021. There are some things that are still maintained from the way back, but there are things that are changing and trending these days. So I just want to thank everyone that logged in today. I want to thank your fans. They are very loyal to you, Katia Valino. And it is a pleasure, such a wonderful pleasure to join you today. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity, to answer these questions and to share these comments with them. I love you guys.
Oh, George, and you are Chairman Dale. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I'm following George on IG. Oh, Chi Kelly said that she's following you on Instagram. Ne. Come and say, my people, George Chukwu gozie gị n'aha Jesus. Grantwood, yes, I can't wait to see most of my fans and my friends. Thank you. Hi, Katia. I always love your program, Mr. Rock. Thank you guys so much. I will surely see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. We're gonna go eat some lunch because it's lunchtime at our end. Bye, everyone. Remember to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, okay? Thank you all. See you guys.
Bye-bye.